No one expected the Premier League to start like this. Because heading into 2025/26, there was one team that looked untouchable. Liverpool had done everything right, adding talent, balance, and star power. Florian Wirtz came in to control the tempo, Frimpong and Kerkez to stretch the pitch, and Hugo Ekitike scoring goals for fun in his first weeks at Anfield.
Further clear. Ekitike's there and does! What a start to the second period for Liverpool!
Then came the cherry on top, Alexander Isak. V. What would you like to achieve over the course of that contract? I want to win everything. As simple as that? Yeah. That's when everyone said it. The league is over. And honestly, it made perfect sense. The same core from last season, plus nearly €500 million worth of new arrivals. Everything was set for domination. But football doesn't care about logic. After a few late winners, fans started calling it Arne time. Yet just weeks later, those same late goals started going the other way. A draw here, a loss there, and suddenly Liverpool's perfect start began to crack. Defeats to Palace, Chelsea, and even Galatasaray before the October break turned the dream into doubt. So now, as we hit the international break, the question isn't who can stop Liverpool, it's what on earth has gone wrong. Before the first ball was even kicked this season, one narrative dominated the Premier League. Liverpool were expected to run away with it. And honestly, no one could argue. Over the summer, they didn't just strengthen, they reloaded. Mohamed Salah hasn't looked at his usual best this season. With just 3 goals and 3 assists in his first 10 matches, his numbers are far below the standards he set last year, when he was single-handedly deciding games for Liverpool. Florian Wirtz joined to dictate play in midfield. Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez arrived to give width, pace, and constant attacking runs from the back. And Hugo Ekitike, who hit the ground running with goals in his opening games, added even more firepower to an already lethal attack. But the real headline came late in the window. Alexander Isak. IV. What would you like to achieve over the course of that contract? I want to win everything. As simple as that. Yeah. That short interview said everything. Confidence, hunger, and pure belief. From that moment, most fans, and even some rivals, quietly admitted it. Liverpool looked unstoppable. And why not? This was almost the same core that had pushed for trophies the year before, only now reinforced by nearly €500 million of fresh talent. On paper, it looked like a perfect storm. Experience, depth, and ambition. Liverpool didn't just seem ready to compete, they looked built to dominate. At one point, it felt like nothing could stop Liverpool. By mid-September, they were ticking every box, scoring late, grinding out results, and showing that signature Arne Slot energy on the touchline. Fans even started calling it Arne time, a tribute to the never-say-die mentality that defined their early weeks. But momentum in football can disappear faster than it builds. The first cracks didn't come in the league, they came in Europe. Against Atletico Madrid, Liverpool played one of their best first halves of the season. Total control, pressing, fluid movement, everything looked perfect. Then, in classic Atletico fashion, the Spanish side flipped the game on its head. They found a way back to 2-2, and although Van Dijk's stoppage-time header rescued the win, it was also a warning sign that few wanted to admit. Over the next few weeks, that warning became reality. The late goals that once saved them began to cost them points. In 2 of their last 3 league games before the break, Liverpool conceded in the dying moments. Defeats to Crystal Palace and Chelsea turned what was a comfortable lead into sudden pressure. And then came the loss to Galatasaray in Europe, confirming what many had started to feel. This wasn't just a stumble, it was a mini crisis. Still, there's no need for panic, at least not yet. The signs point to a squad still trying to find its rhythm, adapting to each other and to Slot's evolving system. After all, this is a team with too much talent to stay down for long. And while Liverpool's form dipped, the rest of the league didn't stand still. The so-called Big Four have already clashed early. Liverpool versus Arsenal, Arsenal versus City, and Chelsea versus Liverpool, matches that left the table wide open. But right now, Arsenal look the most settled. They've already survived their toughest away games, Old Trafford and St. James's Park, and came out with all 6 points. Even their win over West Ham carried weight. It's a fixture they have struggled with in recent years, yet this time they showed composure and maturity. So, as the league pauses for the October break, the balance of power feels uncertain again. Liverpool have the squad to recover, but Arsenal, quietly and efficiently, might just be building something even stronger. They might not be the flashiest team around, but Arsenal have been quietly dominant in every department. Statistically, they've been unmatched defensively, conceding just 0.4 goals per game, while maintaining one of the league's best attacking outputs, averaging 2 goals per match, only slightly behind Manchester City's 2.1. Arteta clearly learned from last season's injury chaos. Arsenal spent heavily again, close to €300 million, but this time with purpose rather than headlines. Their new recruits don't have the same star appeal as Liverpool's. Nobody's putting Eze or Madueke in the same spotlight as Wirtz or Ekitike, but their signings make footballing sense. While Liverpool splashed nearly £500 million on individual flair, Arsenal went for structure, balance, and tactical fit. And that's why they look more composed and mentally sharper in the early part of the season. The best example of that is Martin Zubimendi. He's been the understated signing of the summer, not a highlight reel player, but a system changer. Acting as a deep-lying playmaker, he does for Arsenal what Rodri does for City: dictate rhythm, protect the back four, and free up Declan Rice to move higher up the pitch. With Zubimendi sitting deep, Rice suddenly looks liberated, pressing higher, driving forward, and even arriving inside the box. And while Zubimendi's name doesn't always appear on the score sheet, his influence is there if you look closely. Against West Ham, for example, he drifted into space, received under pressure, and launched the sequence that led to Arsenal's opener. Later, a perfectly weighted pass over the top initiated the move that resulted in their second goal. He may not grab headlines, but if Arsenal stay consistent, his fingerprints will be all over their title challenge. To wrap it up, Arsenal finally seem to have moved past the injury chaos that haunted them last season. The squad looks complete now. Quality in every line, balance in every department. Even Martin Ødegaard's knee issue, which forced him off early in 3 consecutive league starts, a rare Premier League record, hasn't shaken the team's rhythm. Arsenal simply look prepared to cope, but with that depth comes pressure. This time, there are no excuses left. Arteta has the players, the budget, and the experience. Now, he needs the silverware to match. As for Manchester City, things are complicated. It's hard to remember the last time they looked this vulnerable. Not since before Guardiola arrived have we seen such uncertainty. For Pep himself, going a full season without a trophy was a first, and it clearly left a mark. The FA Cup slip against Crystal Palace last spring felt like a wake-up call. Now, City are in this strange position. Not underdogs, but a kind of quiet contender. Still, calling them quiet might sound ridiculous when Erling Haaland is scoring for fun, 15 goals and 3 assists in his last 9 games. The Norwegian has been unstoppable, only failing to score once this season, back in round 2 against Spurs. Even after consecutive defeats to Tottenham and Brighton early on, City have bounced back with an unbeaten run across all competitions, showing signs that the old rhythm is returning. Phil Foden, back to his MVP-level form from 2023/24, has been driving the attack, while Doku looks sharper and more decisive than ever. The summer signings, Tijani Reinders and Ryan Cherki, have added a creative spark, giving Pep more tactical options in midfield. And at the back, Donnarumma's arrival has brought calmness and authority. 3 clean sheets in 6 games prove that. All things considered, City remain serious contenders. Pep's teams rarely stay quiet for long. The only real question mark is what happens if Haaland slows down, because beyond him, there's no clear replacement to carry that scoring load. For now, they sit 3 points behind Arsenal and 2 behind Liverpool, but the margin feels thinner than the table suggests. If Arsenal keep their current form, there's every chance they'll head into that clash with Liverpool on November the 9th, sitting comfortably at the top of the table. All they need is to take care of business in their next 3 fixtures, home matches against Everton and Bournemouth, plus a tricky visit to Villa Park. Now, when it comes to Chelsea, the story is a bit different. Before the season started, no one really had them down as title contenders. The general feeling was that they were still a project in progress. But based on what we've seen so far, they can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. Their performance against Liverpool proved that much. The problem? Consistency. One week they collapse against Brighton, and the next they dominate Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. The defeat at Old Trafford also showed that this is still a team learning to find rhythm. Yet overall, it feels like Chelsea are finally building something solid, capable of competing both in the Premier League and in Europe. Looking at the underlying numbers backs that up. Their XG sits around 11.2, while their expected goals conceded is roughly 9.9, a sign that they're slightly outperforming expectations and converting chances more efficiently than before. When it comes to individuals, João Pedro has been the standout new arrival, already contributing 2 goals and 3 assists in the league. The young Brazilian Estevão also deserves a mention. His winning strike against Liverpool was his big hello to English football. But the real heartbeat of this Chelsea side is Moises Caicedo. The Ecuadorian has been immense, constantly covering every blade of grass, dominating midfield battles, and giving this young team the stability it desperately needed. Suddenly, that €130 million price tag from 2 years ago doesn't look so crazy after all. Interestingly, Chelsea are also the most balanced side among the traditional Big Six when it comes to the types of goals they score: open play, set pieces, and counters. Chelsea, for example, have shown incredible balance. Before the Liverpool game, they had scored 5 goals from open play, 5 from set pieces, and 1 from the penalty spot. Then came those 2 against Liverpool, both from open play, taking their total to 7. It's the perfect reflection of a team that's learning to attack in different ways, not just relying on one particular strength. At the other end of the spectrum, we've got Manchester City, a team that's all about fluid football and quick combinations. But surprisingly, their numbers show a huge contrast. 15 goals from open play and none from either penalties or set pieces. It's classic Guardiola football, all rhythm, no dead ball dependency. The true set-piece kings, though, are Arsenal. They've already scored 7 times from corners or free kicks, 5 from open play, and added 2 from the penalty spot. That level of variation is what makes them so dangerous. They can break you down with possession or punish you from a single delivery into the box. Liverpool sit somewhere in between. Like City, most of their goals come from open play, 11 so far, but they've also added 1 from the spot and 1 from a free kick, courtesy of that Szoboszlai rocket against Arsenal that no one's forgotten. And quietly, Tottenham have been making noise too. Under Thomas Frank, Mohamed Kudus has exploded, topping the Premier League assist charts with 4 already. With a solid defensive base and an unpredictable attack, Spurs might just be the dark horses of this season, both in England and across Europe. So, unlike last season, when the title race was practically decided by Christmas, this time it feels wide open. We could be looking at a 4, maybe even 5-team battle for the Premier League crown. But what about you? Which side has caught your eye the most so far? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. We love hearing your takes. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our latest upload right here. You'll definitely enjoy that one too.